everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Travel with KND. I am Crystal.
And I'm Drew.
And we're going to continue our ride walkthrough where you get to see us for the very first time. I talk a lot with my hands.
I'm going to get punched. We're in very close proximity here. I'm going to get just cold cocked right in the side of the head.
Well, may or may not be an accident. Anyway.
Yeah. Sad truth. At least we have video evidence.
We're going to continue our ride walkthrough with Hollywood Studios. This is probably your favorite park.
Yeah, actually, Hollywood Studios is my favorite park. Going back to when I was a little bitty drewski, pocket size.
I do miss the Mickey Ear Water Tower.
I miss Catastrophe Canyon and like everything. Yeah, I miss a lot of things at Hollywood Studios.
But there is a lot of really cool things still there. So
yeah, out with the old and in with the new.
Well,
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to go in. You get to walk into that lovely Hollywood Boulevard. That's a really cool kind of look when you first go in, the Chinese theater in the far back. I still kind of wish it was the sorcerer's hat, but
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
Unpopular opinion.
I loved the sorcerer's hat.
No, you need to see the Chinese theater when you walk. That's Hollywood Studios. Iconic MGM Studios, Hollywood Studios. You walk in, you see the Chinese theater. That's what you want. Not a plastic sorcerer's hat.
All right. Well, anyways, in
ridiculous.
The Chinese theater is the Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. It's kind of the first ride that you really do come to.
Yeah, that's a mistake.
You thought it was cute too. It is really cute. They're actually one's opening up in Disneyland, and it's a little more tuned. It's more for cartoon kind of feel, even the queue and everything. Okay. Whereas the one here in Disney World is one that's meant to look like you are in the Chinese theater, that you're going to the theater and you get pulled into the cartoon.
They have that really cool effect where you like go into the screen and all that good stuff. I mean, it's not It
is pretty cool how they do it. Pretty much the whole premise of the ride is you're going on a train ride to a picnic.
Yeah.
It does have a similar ride system to what Ratatouille does, where you're in a train car, but it's on its own moving.
It's its own ride.
It's a trackless thing, but it has its own queue.
Yep.
This one is all heights, which is really great. You take your little ones on, especially those who are big Mickey and Minnie fans, which I assume most people are going to Disney World.
Yeah, I mean,
they could be into like princesses or really into Toy Story or something like that. Not really into Mickey and Minnie, but
it's a minor prerequisite going into a Disney park is
there's plenty of other Disney characters besides Mickey and Minnie.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna kind of head over, Really, this is weird because it splits into Echo Tour and it splits into Commissary Lane. So it's not Hollywood Studios, and this initial part is not a smooth movement.
Yeah, it's not a traditional hub and spoke theme park layout that Disney, was famous for. It's more of a capital Q.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean, hey, we'll get there.
So
we go down Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah, Commissary Lane doesn't really have any rides, so for this instance, it doesn't really matter. It's more food.
Yeah.
So through the Echo Lake section, you get, for the first time in forever, which is a Frozen sing-along. We haven't been on this one yet. We haven't made it, but I would assume it's actually very, very similar to the Beauty and the Beast sing-along. And if it is, it should be pretty awesome.
It should definitely be worth your time going for sure.
I would imagine it's more theater seating, just like Beauty and the Beast is as well.
Yeah.
Then you also get to Star Tours. The adventure continues, and this is a big miss for me. I don't care for this ride, this Star Tours ride. It is very rough. There is a height restriction of 40 inches. This was the original Star Wars ride that was in this park, and you can tell.
Yeah, I mean, it's to Crystal's point, it's very early motion simulator, so it's not nearly as fluid and smooth as a modern ride system would be. So it's very, I hate to say the word primitive, but I mean it's not smooth. You're bouncing around. I mean, it can aggravate
motion sickness
very, very easily. If you've got a sore back, it might aggravate this too. It's cool in that the stories have been updated and changed, and no two rides are the same. There's a bit of a randomizer in the 4 or 5 scenes you're served while you're on your journey. But yeah, I mean, to Crystal's point, it definitely has, you know, some cons to it for sure.
The premise of the ride is cool, the like storyline of the ride is cool, but the ride itself, I would have to skip because, quite frankly, it ruins my stomach for the rest of the day.
If it already wasn't ruined.
All right, so then you kind of pull out of Star Wars and you go into Grand Avenue.
Yep, keep moving on up.
And you get into the Muppet Vision 3D.
Yeah, which is, I mean, that's a timeless classic for me. I absolutely love it. You got to do it at least once for sure. Not a ride by any means. It's a 4D adventure, you know, film, and it's awesome. It's just that classic, you know, Muppet comedy that you know and love. I wish there was more Muppets in the Disney parks, so this is definitely, you know, my sweet spot. I love going here. I just wish there was more Muppet representation in the Disney parks, and, you know, Kermit and Animal and Fozzie and the gang, you know, got more love, because I just worry that we're trending the wrong direction, and we might lose out on our fuzzy buddies in the future.
The whole area is themed for Muppets. It's a small area, but it is pretty cool to kind of see it. You get like the Statue of Liberty looking Miss Piggy, and it's kind of a neat little photo spot that's there. All right, so backtracking just a little bit because I did forget something. Is you go ahead because I forgot.
How dare you?
I know. I'm so sorry.
I wasn't going to say anything, but you know, you kind of skipped over Indiana Jones.
I'm sorry.
And the Epic Stunt Spectacular.
Whoops.
Ridiculous. Now that this is back, curse you, COVID. This is on my must-do list. I absolutely love the Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular. I love the Indy movies. I have so much respect for the crew and the work that they do day in and day out on this show. Such a cool experience. You know, Nolan, our son, he loves Indiana Jones. He was so pumped the first time.
This actually came out
to do this.
A month before we went for the last when we went in September of last year. So it had just opened back up, and he was so excited that we were able to get it.
I was so excited. I was doing cartwheels down the aisle. It was great.
For those who are usual Disneyland goers, this is a show, not a ride, like it is in Disneyland. Yep. So don't confuse the two.
Don't get it twisted.
And that's one thing that we'll look forward to when we go to Disneyland on many, many things, is the actual ride. Yeah, but the show and the Stunt Spectacular is pretty amazing.
Cool. Yeah.
All right, so going back through Grand Avenue, you go through this tunnel, and you are transported to the planet of Batu.
Yes.
For the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. And there are 2 of our favorite rides in this area.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big Star Wars fan.
No, not at all. Like, we've seen the movies. Well, okay, we've seen, like, 6 movies.
Yeah,
I've seen the original 6. I haven't seen the new ones. I haven't seen the series, except for, like, the first season and a half of Mandalorian. I'm really behind.
Yeah, we just haven't really gotten into... We were never a really big Star Wars family. You know,
I mean, so enough that we kind of understand what's going on in the area, but where this is set... We haven't really seen those movies, that timeline. If you want to laugh, mention Darth Vader while you're there, and the people who are very well into character will set you straight.
Yeah. But the point that needs to be made, first and foremost with this, though, is the great thing about Galaxy's Edge is you don't need to be a Star Wars super fan to enjoy this area. And by no means should you skip this area if you're not into Star Wars. I think everything's set up in such a way that you can at least get around and appreciate the craftsmanship and appreciate the rides and things like that without being a Star Wars, you know, super fan. You know, is everyone on set and in character? Yes, 100%. it's dialed back a little bit in that, it used to be like, hey, where's the bathroom? Where's the bathroom? Where's the bathroom? And they'd like stick to it. I have no idea what you're talking about. And you're holding up your kid and you're like, he is going to pee on you. Where is the bathroom? And then they're finally like, just go over there. They've dialed it back a little bit, which is nice. But
it's still great. Like, we were there on Christmas Day and we would say Merry Christmas and they would respond with Happy Life Day.
Yeah.
So, since Christmas isn't really a thing in the Star Wars world, but it's really kind of neat how they interact all of it. You don't have to be a Star Wars fan by any means
not at all.
to be able to enjoy this. And my favorite ride in this entire area, well, really both these two are amazing. But actually my favorite is the Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run.
Yeah, Smuggler's Run is really, really cool. The ride experience is absolutely phenomenal. The level of detail, absolutely phenomenal. The storyline, just the detail that they put into it, and the fact that how good your crew performs on the ride, without getting into too many spoilers, obviously, how good your crew is directly dictates how long your ride experience is. And they actually have several cutscenes filmed that, if you poo the bed as the pilots and you crash a million times and your ride experience is cut short because of it, you've got multiple cutscenes that kind of fill in while the rest of the
people in other ships,
pods, ships, whatever you want to call them, ships to be technical, are continuing their journey for the next 45 seconds. Minute,
so this is six
minute and a half, whatever.
6 people together. Each person has a job. There is no more, no less. If your party is less than 6, they will fill in with single riders. If your party is more than 6, you will be split up. It is 6.
Yeah.
You have 2 pilots, 2 engineers, and 2 gunners. Mm-hmm. If your kids are under the age of 7, they must be seated directly across from an adult. Mm-hmm. But it's real easy. The hardest jobs are the 2 pilots.
Yeah.
The other 4 younger kids can easily do it. We had a 6-year-old and an 8-year-old with us when we did this, and they had absolutely no problem. As a matter of fact, my best friend was behind me, and then her daughter. And there's buttons you kind of push every now and then, but she was, kind of enjoying her daughter's experience, and I was able just to kind of reach back and, and do her part for her, while the 2 dads were pilots, and you have to work together.
Yeah.
It's definitely one of those, if you don't communicate, if you don't work together, your ride's going to be cut short.
Yeah, for sure.
But it is an awesome ride. Mm-hmm. I think I like it because of the interactivity of it so much, that you are part of this experience, not just riding a ride.
Yeah. Just to go in line with what we talked about earlier in the theming. The theming and the cues for both of the rides is absolutely phenomenal. The animatronics
you feel like you're on
incredible.
A movie set.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. They did a phenomenal job with both of these. So getting into the next ride, dear, which is
Star Wars Rise of the Resistance. And the funny thing about this, Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run, 38 inches.
Going back.
Sorry. Moving into Rise of the Resistance, this one is 40 inches, so you need to be just that little bit taller. I think my favorite part of this whole ride is actually kind of getting to, I guess it's like a pre-show, you're not technically on the ride yet, where you board a spacecraft and you're traveling.
Your transport vessel.
And our son, every time we get on it, says he has yet to figure out how we are still in Disney World, but we have completely traveled the distance that we have traveled. And it's something that I love, because even him at almost 10 years old, and he's one of those people that constantly analyzes things and figures out how it works, is still 100% amazed by this. And that's probably my favorite part. And then you just get, this is another one where you feel like you're walking through a movie set. Like you're completely pulled in, even not as a Star Wars fan. Yeah. You walk through and just awe.
Yeah, because it's the pre-show is outstanding. It doesn't feel like a pre-show. It feels like part of
the ride. Yeah.
Part of the ride. It's that, seamless, if you will. And the amount of detail, the sets that you go on while you're on this ride, like the size of the AT-ATs just is incredible. You go up multiple levels. The animatronics, when they're in A mode, are working, really, really well and smooth and seamless. There's been some scrutiny lately in terms of maintenance on this particular ride, and just
it does go down from time to time. So if this is a must-do for you, I would definitely try and hit it earlier in the day, just to kind of be on the safe side. But I mean, it happens. They're working out some bugs with it. This is another trackless ride, very similar to Ratatouille and Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. There is a small drop. It catches you by surprise just a little bit, only to warn people not to give you too much away. But it is nothing. It's not even as big as
it's a 1 story, but it is a traditional drop. There is a feeling of stomach up just for a quick half second. It's over
by the time you even realize what's happening.
Yeah, exactly. By the time you realize what's happening, you're done already, which is nice. I hate drop towers, drop rides. Will not go on them. Period. I have never been on Tower of Terror. I've never been on. Just will not do it. Will not do them. Period. Hard pass. No. But I go on this because of the rest of the experience. You have to experience it. Don't rob yourself. Do it at least one time. If you don't like drops, it's a 6-second blip in a 20-minute experience that is like no other. You have to do it at least once. Absolutely. Don't cheat yourself. Period.
The rest of this area is kind of an attraction all in itself, but this is really kind of the rest of what it is. And then you kind of go out. I always feel like this is the backside, but it's really not. It's kind of just outside. And you go into Toy Story Land, and you are the size of a toy. Mm-hmm. And it's really cool how they do that theming to really make you feel like you've shrunk down. And there are a few attractions in here. One is the Alien Swirling Saucers, which is pretty much another Dumbo ride kind of thing.
No, it's your traditional teacup style.
Teacup, not Dumbo.
Yeah. Don't be a Dumbo. It's a teacup style ride.
No.
Gosh.
Sorry. Teacup style ride.
Excuse me.
That's all the, little squeaky alien themed from Toy Story.
Yeah.
And then we get to, this one's actually my favorite in this area, is Toy Story Mania.
Yeah, Toy Story Mania. So much fun. Absolutely love it.
It's Midway, old style carnival, like you would see in Coney Island, you would think.
Yeah, old style carnival type games. It's nice that when they expanded this, they added that additional track because the wait times for Toy Story Midway Mania were always super duper high, and it's definitely a lot more manageable now that they've expanded it, which is great.
This is a 4D shooting game. You sit 4 to a car, 2 in front, 2 in back, but it spins so you can kind of do your own thing. You're pretty much competing with the person next to you, and arm can probably be tired at the end of it because it is like a pole.
Yeah, you're on a pull string.
Yeah, it's like a pull string
yeah,
kind of thing that you go through. But overall, it's a really fun game. There is no height restriction on this. Swirling Saucers, you have to be 32 inches. Mm-hmm. But this one doesn't have a height restriction, so you can take your kiddos.
Yeah.
Our next one here has a 38-inch height restriction, and this is the coaster in the area. And I know you love this one, so you can talk all about it.
Yeah, Slinky Dog Dash. Definitely a family coaster. There's no inversions, anything like that. But, it's a cute, fun family coaster. It's a launch coaster. I believe there's several launches, if I remember correctly.
I think there's at least 2 or 3,
yeah. There's, a couple little, hills and no crazy airtime or anything like that, but there's a couple little, wee, and,
it's meant for you to kind of feel like you're on Slinky Dog, where, he kind of goes up and down and then, stretches and pulls together, and it's kind of meant to have that feeling with it.
Yeah, my buddy and I, on the last time when we sat in the last row of this, and I think we were probably laughing and giggling more than all the kids.
I'm sure.
So it's just so much fun. It's so much fun. You can't go wrong with Slinky.
All right, so as we head out of Toy Story, we're going to hit, there's really only 2 attractions in this area. One is the Disney Junior Play and Dance. I always want to call it Dance and Play. This is where kiddos can meet their favorite Disney Junior pals, and they get to kind of have a dance party with them.
Yep.
So really great, especially, I would say, the toddlers and the younger kids that are really big into the Disney Junior. This is a great way for them to get some energy out and just kind of play and do their thing. The other one in here is the Walt Disney Presents. It is air conditioned. and it is a history of Walt Disney, not Walt Disney World, not Walt Disney Company, although that's included, a history of Walt Disney.
Yeah.
So it is pretty amazing. You get to kind of see the desks that he worked at. You see film cells from Snow White. You get to see, original dioramas he was putting together of different parks, and even some stuff that they're coming up with in the future, that they've done prototypes for and things like that. So it is something that's amazing to see. And then at the end of all of this area here is just kind of walk through. You walk through at your pace. There's not really seating. You can walk through, check out stuff. All in the air conditioning.
Yeah, all in the air conditioning, which is nice.
And then you get to the Walt Disney Theater at the end, which shows One Man's Dream. And it's a story all about how he created the Disney Company and kind of how it went forward. So it is something cute to kind of watch, especially if you're really into the history of Disney. It's something that I enjoy seeing when we go through. Even our son thought it was kind of cool to see where some of his favorite stuff started and initiated in, where animation used to be and where it is now, and kind of it gave him a greater appreciation for the movies he watches now.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so then as we head out of this animation courtyard, we're going to get into Sunset Boulevard. This is actually kind of at the front of the park. It's like
this is the
line
stick of the queue that I was talking about, yeah.
So it is a little weird. You kind of go down like this long walkway. It's meant to look like Sunset Boulevard, hence its name.
Yep.
So it is like old school Hollywood out in California that you're looking at. Lots of shops, lots of markets. Once you get all the way to the end, I'm going to save one of them for you for a little bit later. But I'm going to talk about the Lightning McQueen Racing Academy.
Yeah.
This was actually so much cuter than I thought it was going to be.
This was really, really cool. It was definitely worth the walk down and the, time spent doing it. A lot of really, really cool little Lightning McQueen and Cars type stuff. You got Cruz Ramirez outside and DJ outside that you can take pictures with. Inside, you've got Lightning McQueen on a racing simulator. You're just, you're surrounded by like 180 degrees worth of screens.
And you get this really cool 95 that's right up front. And our son's a huge Cars fan.
Yeah.
Absolutely loves Lightning McQueen. Our cat's name is Lightning. Loves Lightning McQueen.
Yeah.
So it was really cool. We had the backpack with us that he was carrying with the Loungefly. So, of course, we had to get the photo of, him in front of this giant 95, like how it looks, towards the end of Cars 3 when they have his number there. So, and it's really cool. Lightning McQueen's showing people how to use his new simulator. So he actually, comes out and talks. And Mater kind of introduces everybody through video screen. Mater is not able to be there, but...
Yeah.
It is really, really cute. You get to sit down in plastic, church pew looking things.
It's like a traditional bench.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that metal bench, plasticky bench that you're accustomed to sitting on for sports games and stuff like that.
But it's not a super long show, but it is very, very cute. If you have a Cars fan in your family, do not miss this.
Yeah, it's definitely worth it for sure. Yes.
Right there by it is going to be the Tower of Terror, which I know you won't go on.
I'm working up to it. I might go on it this summer.
This one, a friend of ours in June has convinced us for me to go with him. So that'll be the first time in probably 20 years that I've been on this ride.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes. But anyways, it's a drop tower. However, it is a little bit different, as in it is not a ride up and immediately fall down. You kind of drop a couple times. They're completely random. It's all themed like the Twilight Zone, so you're kind of pulled into all of that. But it's a drop tower in and of itself. If you don't like drop towers, probably not your ride. If you love drop towers, you'll love this one.
Yeah.
You must be 40 inches to go on it. And I think that's it for that one.
Yeah.
Right around the corner, your favorite ride. Well, okay, I think the Star Wars ones might have this beat, but you love this ride. This is a must-do for you every time.
Man, I don't know. I'm trying to think how... That's tough. We'll get into that later.
This ride is due for a retheme. There's talks of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's current at the time of filming. It's currently down for scheduled maintenance. But the contract with Aerosmith is up. I
guess we should introduce what this ride is. We haven't. This is Rock and Roller Coaster.
Sorry. Rock and Roller Coaster.
Starring Aerosmith.
Not anymore. Rock and Roller Coaster, starring we don't know who.
We don't know.
That's the cool thing about going on right now is that there's so many rumors circulating. Is it going to be Queen? Is it going to be Powerline? Is it going to... Who knows?
I still hope Powerline because that would just be amazing.
That would be really, really cool.
I think it should be Powerline.
I'm on the Powerline train.
Iger, when you're watching this on the random, like thing that shoots you on YouTube, make it Powerline.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Hopefully we can see eye to eye. And you'll make it Powerline.
People want Powerline.
Yes. The people have spoken. But, launch coaster.
It is in the dark.
It's indoors. Yeah, so
not dark like Space Mountain dark, but it's because you got lights.
Yeah, there's really no point in saying anything else than it's a launch coaster.
Yeah,
because it's getting a complete retheme. So
well, this is true.
It might not. Who knows? That's all we can say. It's an indoor launch coaster.
It was really great. It was a steel coaster, so it was pretty smooth. You launched straight out of the gate. It had really great theming to it. So we don't know if they're just going to switch out the star of it and kind of keep stuff most of it. It was like a limo ride as you're trying to get from point A to the concert.
Right.
This is a 48-inch height restriction. I don't imagine that's going to change. They should be keeping the same ride system. Yeah. I would imagine this is just a retheme. They're not redoing it. So, there were a couple loops.
Yeah, there's several inversions. It's nice in that, excuse me, obviously I'm a bigger gentleman. I fit fine on it. Tall-wise, girth-wise, whatever. I have no issues. That's the nice thing about so many Disney attractions is while it's a roller coaster and it has inversions, I can go on it without any issues. I can't say that about when I go to Universal. I can't say that when I go to Busch Gardens. I'm too big at this current point in my life. But,
there's not a single ride in all of Hollywood Studios you can't go on.
Yeah, Hollywood Studios. Yeah, I can go on everything, including Slinky Dog, which is really, really cool. So if you are
fluffy and you need a fluffy friendly park, Hollywood Studios
is your friend.
Hollywood Studios or Epcot are the two best parks for that. Magic Kingdom's got a couple issues. Animal Kingdom, which we'll get to in the next video. They got a couple issues, but neither one of us are supermodels over here, so
yes, you are.
But we don't have any issues on these, and it's lots of fun, lots of stuff for kids to do, especially if you're kind of into the movies like Toy Story or Lightning McQueen or Star Wars.
Yeah,
great parks for that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. So that is all we have for this one. Make sure you hit that subscribe button to see more. Follow us on TikTok and Instagram. And, of course, if you would like our help planning your next vacation, it is no charge to you. And we take out your stress and you get tons more tips and tricks than you do just in these videos.
Yeah.
So definitely contact us and we'll help you get started.
Yeah, make sure you guys hit that like button as well. Smash that notification icon so you're notified when we post more videos here on YouTube. And we will see you all in the next video. Bye,
see ya.
everybody.